I am here with Dame Laura Davies. Thank you so much for joining me. We are here at Walton Heath, the beautiful venue for the AIG Women's Open. How excited are you to be here right now? We were just talking about it. You live about 20 minutes away, so how amazing is it to just be so close to home?
Yeah, it's lovely. I played the British Amateur here in about 1980 or 1979 even, so I have vague memories. I haven't played the course a lot, if I'm honest, over the years, but probably half a dozen times I've played both courses, the new and the old. Obviously, we're mainly on the old this week,
right.
A couple of holes from the new, but it's always nice when you can play a tournament from your home.
For sure. So you're getting to stay at home this week?
Yeah, 30-minute drive every morning, so you leave a little bit longer because M25 traffic is always a bit dodgy.
And we were just talking about the weather. It's a beautiful day today. Yesterday was a little bit more gloomy, but just in general, this course, it's not necessarily like a links course by any means, but can you just kind of tell the viewers, the people watching, what kind of course it is?
Well, it's supposed to play kind of linksy. I think that was one of the reasons they chose it. The fairways are supposed to be pretty firm, and the course is set up really long because they expected, obviously, we're in August in England, should be nice and dry, but unfortunately Mother Nature's doused the course in rain for weeks and weeks and weeks, and it's now playing super long. Might have to put a few tees up because I doubt it'll dry out. The R&A would have wanted it hard and fast, so if you don't precisely hit the right part of the fairway, they're very undulating fairways and you can run off into, and that's the design of the course. So it's playing away from its characteristics, but I think in many ways it's made it a lot harder, although hitting good shots in and stopping them on the greens will be easier. You'll be coming in with a lot more club.
And can you talk a little bit about the heather? Right, that's what it's, so yeah, that looks tough. I've never had to play with heather, but I feel like that'd be pretty hard to get out of. So what's the best way to go about getting out of something like that?
Well, if you're in it, you take your punishment. You just, I mean, there are areas where you can get lucky, but even when you think you got lucky, it sometimes grabs you. So my thing is always just try and put the ball in a position, not more than, don't try and get more than 100 yards out of it, unless you've got some crazy lie where it's sitting on top. So take your punishment. The fairways are wide enough where it's got to be a bad shot to get in it. So the basis of it is hit it nice and long and straight and you're okay. But yeah, take your punishment if you're in it. Otherwise you can rack up a double or a triple because what the tendency I find, it whips the ball left. It grabs hold of that club head and it turns the club face in, and it's a definite punitive part of this course.
And a couple weeks ago at the KPMG, you played with the winner. The first couple of days you played with Ronnie, and in the post-round interview you actually said she's going to be something really good. Like you saw a lot in her games.
Never played with her before. Very impressed. I just said to her on the 9th green, our last hole, I said, you've got some game, you're going a long way, because there's not much of her, but she hits it a mile. She's got such good control with her distance control is great. And obviously putts well. Didn't see a chip. I don't think she missed a green. So, yeah, very impressed.
So, are you the good luck charm? Or are you just going to play with the winners from now on?
Well, so that would be nice, wouldn't it? But, yeah, she's a special talent. I mean, when she's still in that 10th tee was our very first tee, and she's blown her drive way past the fairway bunkers at about 260. And she just blew it by them, and I thought, oh, this is interesting. But then she backed it up with some real quality golf and really good thinking, doesn't just blast drivers, hits a lot of 3-woods, plays good positional golf. So for someone so young and the talent she's got, it wasn't hard. To be honest, it wasn't rocket science to name her up as a decent chance.
To predict that. And this week, the AIG Women's Open, it's been around for a while. It's a very prestigious week and one that I always look forward to. Unfortunately, we're ending out our major season. But if you had to just explain this championship, obviously it goes to different courses, different venues. St. Andrews next year, super exciting. How would you explain this tournament?
It's just, for all the British girls, it's the one you want to win. I mean, there's great tournaments around the world. US Open obviously stands out. But for all the British girls, and I'd say a lot of the Europeans, this is the one, because it's played on links courses normally. I mean, obviously we know it's not on a proper links this year. But it's always at a prestigious venue. It's always got the best field possible. No player ever misses a British or a British Open. So you've got everything. You've got the hardness of the course, you've got the strength of the field, you've got the galleries that always turn out. And I think the galleries this week will be great. Surrey, people in Surrey, my home county, they love their golf. So hopefully they'll turn up and cheer the girls on. I'm playing at least the first 2 rounds, so I'm not sure if I'll be here for the weekend, but I'm going to try my very best, just because it's such an experience. It's my 43rd on the trot that I've played in. I think it might be my last one, but I'll miss it. But it's been for me, it's been the best tournament in the women's game for many a year.
Yeah. Is there a specific year that, when you think about this tournament, that you remember the most?
It has to be '86 when I won it at Royal Birkdale. That has to be the one that stands out for me. But if you want one where it wasn't a selfish or a personal thing, St. Andrews, when we first went to St. Andrews, and I think Lorena Ochoa won it, I think, the very first time.
Okay.
And Stacey won it the second time we played there, and obviously we're going back next year. But I think the first time the girls turned up to play at St Andrews for the women's game and for all the girls that got to play in that first one, that was pretty special.
Definitely. And you're a vice captain. You've been a vice captain many times for the Solheim Cup. You've played in, I think, 12.
Yeah.
So how excited are you for this year? It's looking like your team is going to shape out quite nicely.
Yeah, I think maybe for the first time in Solheim Cup history, and there must have been this, I don't know if this is 17th, 18th or 19th version of it, but I think for the first time the teams are really equally matched on paper. I mean, yeah, the Americans will have slightly lower world rankings, but just the way everyone's playing, normally we come in as heavy underdogs, and quite rightly so, because the American team is absolutely fantastic.
Right.
And it's fantastic again, but the difference this time is we've got some really great young exciting players. They're all great ball strikers, flushers, and Celine obviously has won the last 2 tournaments. She'll be our leader for first and foremost, I think, for this time. Everyone's going to fear playing her. Yeah, and the captain is brilliant, Suzanne. She's always great fun to be around. And it was nice when she invited me to be part of the team, because it's, to be honest, it's a doddle vice captaincy. You just agree with a lot of things, make sure the players are happy, and have a fun week, and have a fun week.
I love that. Speaking of England and everything, I think you were watching the Women's World Cup match the other day. I know you love football. They barely won, though. I mean, I can't say anything because U.S. didn't win. They're not going into quarterfinals.
That was a shock. That was a real shock.
That was something. But how exciting is it to just be able, I know you love other sports just in general, but to be able to watch, them play and go head-to-head with other teams. They're playing Colombia, I think, in the next match.
Yeah, that's the quarterfinals, Colombia. Yeah, we were lucky, to be fair. Nigeria, they probably could and should have beaten us, but they didn't take their chances. We had a penalty that was given then ruled out. They probably should have had a penalty.
Right.
And then obviously the penalty shootout is just it's a coin toss. And luckily, well, not luckily, because that is the most high pressure. Luckily I've never had to take, but when Kelly stepped up for that final one, I can't even imagine what she's thinking. You don't want to give a great team a chance to come back at you, and if she misses that, we might have gone on to lose. So yeah, I mean, the whole team, I don't think they'll be happy with the way they played, but they're through.
A win's a win, though.
And that's all that matters in competition for any tournament situation where knockout. You just have to get through. But hopefully they'll improve, because Colombia will be a different kettle of fish, I think.
Yeah, I know. I wish the U.S. could have gone a little further, but it is what it is.
We have won it so many times. It's nice to give someone else a chance. You're the 3-time defending champs. So.
I'm like, I guess we can give someone else a chance.
Exactly. There you go.
Also, this is kind of random, but yesterday Charlie Hull had a press conference, and they were asking about her role models, and she said she never really had many role models growing up except for you. Oh,
well, that's very nice of her. I must admit, I see a lot of the way Charlie plays the game and the way I used to play the game. I still try, but it obviously doesn't work so well now. But, it's kind of a carefree attitude, and she goes for pins. She's never scared. We saw her at the US Open when she went for that shot. And that, to me, is the essence of the game. And, there's, not many girls have that mindset, and I think that's why I love watching Charlie play so much. And I think golf fans around the world just love to see her play, because she just has no fear.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
What was it? Shy kids don't get sweets?
Yeah, I know.
I loved that.
I've never heard that one, but that's a Charlieism for you. That's exactly who Charlie is. Yeah, but she's quite right. Shy kids do not get sweets.
She went for it. I loved it.
Yeah, it was great.
Made the broadcast super interesting too. Yeah. But this week, what kind of players do you think will play well here? What parts of their games need to be tuned in?
Well, amazingly, I was talking to Jamie Spence, who's a player that played the European Tour many years, a winner, and now does a lot of commentary, and we were talking about it, and he said when the men play here, it's the shorter, straighter hitters that really do well around this course as a pro venue. He named 4 or 5 winners, Tom Kite, not Andrew Murray. It could have been Andrew Murray, but have won tournaments around here, and their game is not all about long hitting. So it'll be interesting to see if the shorter hitters do well around here, especially if the course dries out a bit. But if you were looking for me to give you a name, I think this course sets up really well for the likes of Nelly Corder.
Okay.
I know she's not been at her best recently, but this is a course where you can stand, although the fairways, they look tight, but they're actually not.
Okay.
Because visually it's a very difficult golf course, but when you get down there, you find the fairways open out. So I'd be looking to see Nelly go pretty well, even though I've just said I think shorter hitters have got a really good chance.
Okay, well, I'm excited. I'm excited to see who's gonna do it here. This is kind of random, but I was doing all sorts of research on you, right? Even asking some caddies, Oh,
this could be anything.
I was like, what do we know about the Dame? I know you have some dogs. I heard they eat better than me.
Well, yeah, Murphy, young Murphy. We lost him recently, but he definitely had the life. He lived to nearly 15. So although probably frowned upon what he used to have his dinner, he liked not proper caviar, you know, the little fake caviar stuff, and he loved smoked salmon and fillet steak was one of his absolute favourites. But yeah, Murphy was treated quite nicely. So yeah, I can see why the boys would say that it'd be good to be a dog in my house.
I love that. All right, well, I think can kind of wrap it up, but I want to play a little game with you. If you could give me and the people watching, hopefully I didn't do too much research to where I'll know the answer, but 2 truths and a lie about yourself. But don't tell me which one's the truth and which one's the lie.
Oh, okay.
And I have to guess.
2 truths. Okay, so Steve, I don't know if you even know, Steven Gerrard, he's a Liverpool footballer, once bought me dinner in his restaurant, so that may or may not be true. I once drove a Formula One McLaren race car around a racetrack, that may or may not be true. And I ran for a local election to be in local government in Surrey. So that could or couldn't be true.
Wait, that's really hard. I feel like all of these things could be very possible.
Well, there you go. It's up to you to decide.
I'm going to guess the local election is not true.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was trying to think. I had to think. I had to lie to you, but I thought maybe later. I'm the least political person on the planet. So yeah, but yeah, Steven Gerrard was very generous, and he's my favourite footballer of all time.
Is he?
Liverpool, England captain, and yeah, I was lucky enough. McLaren let me drive one of their Formula One, not the actual racetrack, but the Formula One street car. Okay. And yeah, that was quite special.
And you like fast cars, right?
Yeah, it's one of my favourite things. Yeah.
What's your dream car? If you could have anything you wanted.
At the moment would be I like that Lamborghini Urus, the 4-wheel drive Lamborghini. I've always never liked Lamborghini. For one thing, I couldn't get in and out of a normal Lamborghini, but I do like the old 4-wheel drive one. So if I win the lottery, I'm going straight to Lamborghini and get myself an Urus. But other than that, I've got no chance. I drive a nice little mini Johnny Cooper Works at the moment, which is nice fun.
Whatever works, right?
Exactly.
All right, and then very last question. This is kind of to promote people to tune in, watch the broadcast. Why would you encourage the people watching this interview to tune in and watch you guys tee it up this week?
I've always thought that, you know, you watch the guys on TV and what they do is not normal, what your average male golfer, really top women golfers could do. I think you can learn a lot from watching the girls, the rhythm, the tempo, the cleverness, the way that play the course. They don't just tee it up and just try and bash it as far as they can. It has to be more tactical because we're not as strong. So I think whether you're learning the game or whether you're a good player and want to learn a bit more about your swing, you know, tune in and watch the girls, and more importantly, come along and watch the girls, because they put on a show and they're the best players in the world, the best women players in the world, and that's always fun to watch the best of anything.
Love that. Well, I'm looking forward to watching you play this week. I know you're going to crush it, always do. So thanks so much for sitting down with us.
No problem. Thank you.